What's going on, guys? It's Troydan here. And today, we got NBA players that are in a street gang. Please don't make fun of my hair. Just watch my last video. Regardless, players in a gang. I think DeMar DeRozan is a Blood. I'm quite sure on that. And I think Zion Williamson is a Crip. At least that's what I've heard. Regardless, I have not seen this yet. So 10 NBA players, 10 active players in a gang right now? I'm curious. Anyone in MS-13? Link in the description below. First time watching it. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
There are over 33,000 gangs in the United States, and an estimated 1.4 million people living in the U.S. are gang members. That's more than the entire population of Dallas, Texas.
How is it?
Gangs are notoriously secretive about their members and whereabouts, but surprisingly,
Shaq's
there
in a
are
gang?
even some
JR's in a
NBA
gang?
players with gang ties. Here are 10 NBA players who are in a gang. DeMar DeRozan.
I knew this.
Even though NBA players perform on the world stage and travel all around the country, many, if not most of them, grew up in one of several major cities in the US. Los Angeles, California is very often one of these cities, and this is where DeMar DeRozan was born and raised.
Too much IRL GTA, man.
DeRozan was born specifically in the city of Compton in the year 1989, which means he spent his childhood in the exact same environment that produced NWA.
NWA! Neighbors with attitudes.
An unfortunate part of DeRozan's upbringing.
That Tupac?
His uncle was actually a Compton Crip and was killed in a gang war when DeMar was just 5 years old.
Oh my God, that's awful. But DeMar DeRozan's a Crip? Oh, sorry, I said he was a Blood earlier. My bad.
When DeMar was 17, his best friend was
got someone
also
killed,
shot
wouldn't it?
and killed.
Okay.
DeRozan once told ESPN, quote, "People always ask me what I would have done if it wasn't for basketball. I can never give a good story because I honestly don't know. I had no other options." End quote. It's been rumored that DeMar was actually protected by the Crips growing up. This would have been because of his family ties to the gang and his promising basketball skills.
Good guy,
if
Crip.
True, this could mean that DeMar DeRozan's rise to NBA success is owed in part to gang affiliations. Tony Allen.
Tony Allen? Oh,
Besides
shoot.
Los Angeles, another major
got the
city
D.
that seems to produce tons of NBA players is Chicago, Illinois. Chicago has unfortunately been the epicenter of gangs and gang-related violence in America for some time. And this is the environment that future NBA champion Tony Allen grew up in. According to Tony himself, it was a really rough upbringing. In 2017, Tony told Slam magazine, quote, "You name it, I did everything under the sun. I was never a thief, more trying to hustle. Not scam, hustle.
Trying to make it in the world, guys.
That's the reality of my situation."
It is what it is, dude.
Allen has allegedly flashed gang signs during NBA games.
What?
And in 2005, he was involved in a bar brawl in Chicago. One person was killed, and Tony was indicted on several counts of aggravated battery.
Sorry, what? Tony Allen killed a man? I'm learning.
Later found not guilty.
Did you know that?
Ever since the incident, Allen required extra security when playing in his hometown, as there was reportedly threats on his own life. J.R. Smith.
JR? I know a gang member. A gang member follows me on Twitter. I did not. Let me try to guess the gang. Bloods.
J.R. Smith grew up in New Jersey, not far from New York City.
Bloods?
While his childhood wasn't spent in a gang epicenter like Chicago or L.A., Smith has on multiple occasions provided evidence to suggest gang affiliation. Like Tony Allen, J.R. Smith has occasionally flashed hand signs that some have interpreted to be related to the Bloods.
Should I ask him?
This is a controversial part of NBA history. It's not always clear what players are communicating with their celebratory gestures.
LeBron's throwing a gang sign
and
there.
While many are quick to assume the meaning and implore the NBA to impose fines on players, others are more skeptical. Perhaps in an attempt to absolve fans' uncertainty while playing for the Denver Nuggets, JR took to Twitter and began replacing the letter C with the letter K in all of his tweets. This was taken as a much less ambiguous sign that JR was somehow affiliated with the Bloods.
Here's
Smith actually shut down his Twitter account soon after this. Zach Randolph played in the NBA for almost 20 years.
I knew it.
He was drafted by the Portland Trail Blazers back in 2001.
Zach Randolph, okay.
Presumably, while living there, Randolph became connected to a Portland gang known as the Hoop Family. The Hoop Family is associated with the Crips and have been on law enforcement's radar repeatedly over the years. The Hoop Family has been investigated for things like murder, drugs, and illegal weapons. The gang even supposedly put a hit out on another NBA player named Sebastian Telfair. The details of this are not clear, but Telfair apparently feared enough for his life that he obtained an assault rifle, which he kept on his premises. Carmelo Anthony.
Melo's in a gang? Let me guess. MS-13.
Carmelo Anthony grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. And like most of the other players on this list, he was exposed to a fair share of gang violence as a youth. In 2004, Carmelo Anthony appeared in a home video that some of his neighborhood friends were making.
That's a blood.
Turns out the video, which was produced by Rodney Bethea, aka Skinny Sudge, was a fairly threatening message to anyone willing to rat out drug dealers.
He said Sudge.
Some of the men in the video claimed to be drug dealers themselves. The video was called Stop Snitching, and DVDs of it quickly began spreading all across the country.
Wow.
Corresponding t-shirts soon also became popular, most often depicting a stop sign covered in bullet holes with the words "Stop Snitching" written on it. As an active NBA player, Melo probably had a PR person at the time, and they probably had a brain aneurysm when the video was released.
I bet.
Carmelo has since been quick to assure everyone that the video was supposed to be a joke, but not everyone took it as one.
Yo, I think Melo's a blood, dude.
The Stop Snitching video garnered
what if
so
LeBron's
much attention that the Baltimore Police Department even created their own video in response, which they called Keep Talking. The subject of talking to the police is complex and controversial, and has continued to be so to this day. Stefan Jackson. Stefan Jackson has been one of the more open and honest players in recent NBA history. He made headlines back in 2018 when he told reporters he smoked pot for his entire career, sometimes even before games.
Oh, I lost respect. I just lost respect for, I can't. No, I can't.
Coach Don Nelson, who is now a full-blown pot farmer living in Hawaii. Jackson has also been very open about his past connections to gang violence. He grew up in Port Arthur, Texas, and when he was 16, Jackson's older brother was tragically killed. Jackson has also reportedly said that he has been previously associated with the Bloods.
Yo, he got a gun on his tummy,
he denies
dude.
having any
You don't want to
involvement
mess around with someone with a gun on their tummy.
Javaris Crittenton. Most of the players on this list either grew up around gang violence before making it to the NBA and rising out of their humble backgrounds. But Javaris Crittenton is unique in that he actually got involved with gangs after making it to the NBA. Crittenton was drafted by the Los Angeles Lakers in 2007. Shortly after this, Crittenton reportedly joined a West LA street gang named the Mansfield Gangster Crips. Later on in his career, Crittenton was cut from the Washington Wizards after he pulled a gun on his own teammate Gilbert Arenas. Unfortunately, it gets even worse. Crittenton never played in the NBA again after the incident. And in 2011,
Arenas? I know I'm the wrong guy to make fun of someone's pronunciations, but
he actually shot and killed a woman named Julian Jones in Atlanta.
What? You killed a woman?
The NBA player is now in prison.
Good.
Caron Butler had an extremely rough childhood, and his journey to the NBA
For some reason, I
was
feel
both
like I knew
impressive
this.
and improbable. Growing up in Wisconsin, about 75 miles north of Chicago, Butler started dealing drugs at just 12 years old.
You have to.
He told Oprah in 2005 that back then his role models were pimps and drug dealers. Caron was arrested a total of 15 times before he reached his 15th birthday. And he actually discovered his passion for basketball while incarcerated in a juvenile detention center.
Nice.
Looking back, Caron says he now takes advantage of opportunities to reach out to kids who are going through similar struggles today.
Nice.
Monta Ellis.
Monta Ellis
again? About Monta Ellis' possible affiliation with gangs is based largely on some of the former NBA shooting guards' tattoos. Ellis was born and raised in Mississippi, where the Gangster Disciples have been active for a long time. Gangster Disciples often use the abbreviation GD and use a six-pointed star as their symbol. Ellis has tattoos of both. On one arm, he sports the letters GD. On the other, he has a six-pointed star. Nobody would say this is merely a coincidence. However, it's hard enough to know how much this proves about Ellis' actual relationship to the infamous gang. Ellis himself has never spoken publicly about the tattoos. Some interpret his silence as confirmation, while others figure we'll never know for sure. Monta had a lengthy career in the NBA and is by all accounts an upstanding citizen who loves his family, sneakers, and fishing. Whether or not he had any affiliation with gangs in the past, he's managed to lead a commendable life thus far. James Harden.
What? James Harden is not in a gang. There's no way. James Harden in a gang? Maybe he's in like a food club or something. There's no way.
NBA fans are shocked to hear James Harden's name come up in the subject of gangs. The MVP and 8-time All-Star grew up in Los Angeles, and just like other players on this list, he's someone who's appeared to toss up gang signs on the court. This doesn't prove Harden is actually in a gang, of course. But the evidence doesn't stop there. James Harden is a good friend of the rapper Lil Wayne, who's associated with the Bloods. Lil Wayne actually released a song in 20...
You say because he's friends with Lil Wayne, he's a Blood? Justin Bieber's a Blood.
20 named after Harden. And in turn, Harden has reportedly gotten Lil Wayne courtside seats at Rockets games. Harden has referred to Lil Wayne as 5 in a tweet, which many interpreted as a reference to a 5-pointed star used as a symbol for the Bloods. None of this proves Harden is directly affiliated with the gang, but it has definitely raised some eyebrows and caused speculation. Some have accused him of being a poser and only pretending to have any affiliations.
Next thing they're going to tell me Yao Ming's in the Yakuza. I know that doesn't make sense.
Without more evidence and without any commentary on the matter from James himself, it's hard to know anything for sure. Final thoughts.
Who's that?
The links between NBA players and notorious gangs and gang members are surprising, to say the least. In many, if not most cases, it could all amount to nothing more than cultural expression being misinterpreted as something more. As we've seen, many players grow up in the same major urban areas like Chicago and Los Angeles, where gangs are very present and gang culture is a part of their environment. We should be careful to jump to conclusions. However, there are other examples that
you just jumped to a conclusion.
Why did Carmelo choose to appear in a video with drug dealers? And why on earth did Javaris Crittenton decide to join a gang after he was drafted? Controversial topics such as these are likely to produce more questions than answers in the end. Thank you for watching.
All right, we done. I don't know. Some of these obviously were in a gang, and some of these might be a little speculation, but I don't know. Is B's up for James Harden? I think I don't. Sorry, I don't know a lot of gang lingo, but yeah, some of these surprised me, and some of them I knew. I knew DeMar DeRozan for sure, so I confused him as a Blood. He's a Crip, completely different. You don't want to make that mistake in the hood. Trust me. Guys, if you got a video like for me to watch or react to, you can tweet me at Troydan under the hashtag TroydanReacts. Thank you for watching, and kids, I know my hair. I know.